Okay, so have you ever had one of those brilliant ideas, something you just knew was a game changer, but when you tried to pitch it, it just fell flat? Well, today we're going to dive into a really powerful framework from our source material that's designed to turn pretty much any pitch into a persuasive, unforgettable story. Let's get right into it. So let's just start with the big question here. Why? Why do great ideas, even the ones that are packed with solid data and really cool, innovative features, so often just fail to connect with an audience? You've done all the research, you know your stuff inside and out, but that crucial yes you're looking for, it just doesn't happen. What's going wrong here? And here it is. This is the core of the problem. I think we all kind of fall into this trap, right? We think that the more information, the more data, the more features we can throw at people, the more convincing we're going to be. But here's the thing, our source makes really clear. Data only matters if it helps someone make a decision. Everything else, it's just noise. Let's look at a typical pitch for, say, a tech product, like the one we're showing here. It sounds something like this. We've developed an app that crowdsources real-time road conditions with GPS integration. Now look, it's accurate, it's descriptive, it's packed with facts, but does it grab you? Does it make you lean in and want to learn more? It's a competent description for sure, but it's not a compelling story. So how do we fix this? Well, this is where this SNAP framework comes in. It's a simple but really powerful tool from our source that's designed to solve this exact problem. And the beauty of it is, it's not about changing your information, it's about changing the structure. It transforms that data dump into a focused narrative that actually guides your audience toward a decision. And the acronym itself is just so simple. S is for story, which is how you connect on a human level. N is for need, where you show there's a real demand for what you have. A is for answer. That's where you present your solution. And P is for proof, the hard evidence that it actually works. Story, need, answer, proof. Now let's see how this framework builds a completely different kind of pitch. All right, let's put this framework to the test. We're going to take that exact same road conditions app from before and completely rebuild its pitch from the ground up using the SNAP structure. You're going to see it's the same app, but the impact, it's going to be worlds apart. So we start with S for story. See what's happening here? We're not talking about GPS integration or crowdsourcing. Not at all. We're talking about a feeling, frustration, stress, the real-world consequence of a problem. This line puts the listener directly into the experience. You can instantly relate to that sinking feeling of a plan just going completely sideways. It connects. Okay, so now that you've got them hooked on that feeling, we bring in N for need. This is where you validate that personal story with a massive number. See, it's not just one person having a bad day. This is a huge, widespread problem. We're talking 2 million drivers dealing with this, and it's costing a fortune in repairs. This establishes a clear, urgent demand for a solution. So now that we've set up the story and the need, the solution, A for answer, it just lands with incredible clarity. It's simple, it's direct, and it perfectly resolves the pain point we just created. We're not listing a bunch of features, we're providing the one clear benefit that matters most. Our app warns you before the problem ever happens. And finally, you seal the deal with P for proof. This is where all that data we talked about earlier comes roaring back in, but now it has context, it has a purpose. These numbers aren't just abstract facts anymore, they're tangible evidence that the answer works. 12,000 users in just 3 months, 800 hazards reported, and get this, it's even helping councils fix roads 40% faster. That's real impact. So, do you see the transformation there? It's the same app, the same core idea, but by shifting from just presenting information to telling a structured story, the pitch becomes crystal clear, not just what the app is, but why it truly matters. This metaphor from the source material just sums it up perfectly. Information by itself is just a map. It shows you all the possible routes, but it doesn't tell your audience where to go. They can get lost, take a wrong turn, or just put the map away. The SNAP framework, though, that acts as your guide. It takes them by the hand and leads them down one specific path, to the only destination that matters in a pitch, a clear yes. So the key takeaway here is this. You hold the map. It's full of all your information. The next time you build a presentation or a pitch, you have to ask yourself, are you just handing over that map and hoping for the best? Or are you going to be the guide? Your information is a map. Where will you guide them?